Welcome back to the Cardano Sense Catalyst version, or DC Fund version, or however you'd like to call it. My name is Anthony. I've been away for a while, so I know this show's been kind of spotty. I'm going to try to get into more of a groove with the show. I'm also going to try to speed it up a little bit, and the way it's going to work is we're on Fund 4 now, voting for Fund 4 starting. So I'm going to stay on Fund 4 projects until voting is over. The reason I'm doing that is because during voting, you can change your vote. So if you vote one way, you still have up until the end of the voting period to change it. So with that said, I'm going to stay on Fund 4 until voting is done, and then I'll move to Fund 5. Concerning the website, the CardanoFund.com, that site I need to work on that, so I'm not going to really advertise that anymore until I can kind of get a groove on that too. I have to find a better way to transfer the information from Catalyst to the website. It's a bit of a tedious exercise right now. I just have to sit down and do it because I know there's ways to scrape the information. I just got to do it. So with that said, let's start the show. As usual, this show is brought to you by the Sophie stake pool, which is my stake pool. Now, I've always had the margin set to pretty much 5%, 4.99%. I did this in the beginning when a lot of the other margins were set to 5% also. But now we have over 2,000 stake pools, so I'm going to change that probably to 2.9% to be a little more in line with other stake pools. There's a lot of small stake pools that are still not going to make it. Essentially, right now, the way the system's set up, it's set up for I don't know, as if there were 500 stake pools. They're going to change that to 1,000, but still, there are going to be a couple that don't make it, or a bunch that probably don't make it. I'm probably going to stick around either way because I'm learning Plutus at the same time, and it's just good to have that running for what I'm doing. But I'm going to change it to 2.9%. So if you'd like the show, if you want to support, the best way to do it is to delegate to the stake pool. Okay, so like I said, we're going to go over Fund 4 projects. Today we're going over developer projects and the developer ecosystem. So let's get right to it. Let's get to the first project here. So the first project is these walled gardens theme park. Okay, a dev theme park. Okay, so let's start by reading through the problem statement here. The problem statement. We operate in physical digital silos that limit the flow in and out of social groups, and devs need a fast track lane to teams and or tools. Okay, I agree with that. The solution to the problem. Create a contextual micro cosmic space to onboard devs and show the way to the playground. The self-identification center to the zoo. So essentially, I think what they're saying here is they want a place where devs can go and looks like learn about the dev community and where they can go to kind of start doing their things. Let's look at the experience here. Independent scholar with a focus on social network linguistics and idea flows. So they seem to have the experience to do something like this. But let's go down a little more here. Detailed plan. The answer to this challenge is found in the icon that represents the challenge, which he's talking about this icon right here. So let's leave that on the board so you can kind of see it while I read this. We see the world divided. The bottom represents all the catalysts, so down here, and the top half represents the developer playground. And the top half of the imagery is an economy or environment. We have inhabitants and the natural resources, renewable energy. There's also transportation, air balloon, automobile, a house which represents safety, security, and the rest. Okay, so essentially, again, he's just kind of giving a colorful background of the fact that we're separated, according to him, where there's some people on the bottom that don't really know what's going on. And it looks like, and there's people on the top, right, that are kind of in the system and working in the system. Okay. If you'd like to help the fund this proposal independently of voting, send ADA to. So they have an ADA address here where you can send money directly to. Now, I'm going to talk about that again a little bit more here in a second. This proposal is looking to work with GIM Labs in their proposal, which is this here. Okay, so this proposal is a Catalyst, Project Catalyst landing page. And essentially what this is, I think I've gone over this before, is a place where people can come so they know kind of what's going on in the community, like just a designated spot with a lot of information on it where they can go wherever they want. I'm not going to spend too much time on this proposal because it's not about this proposal. So let's go back over here to the first proposal. So if you've watched any of my videos here, you know I'm real big on showing, you know, if you say you're something, you can do something, prove it, essentially. Just show me links to what you've done to prove who you are, essentially, right? This person doesn't say they're a developer, so it doesn't matter. They don't have to show any kind of developmental projects or GitHub or anything like that. But again, this is just kind of an idea, and they want to link with this project. And that's essentially all they say here, right? The escape room, which they want to make like this escape room. The walled garden is the beginning and onboarding, education, and self-certification mechanism. This digital escape room can and will be repurposed for each fund, each challenge, each event. So depending on what's going on, they're going to change it so people can go in there and just kind of talk, right? It looks like, and figure things out. There are going to be teachers in there, writers. Okay, so this is getting a little long. So let me just say, I like this idea. I like the idea, right? But it's just an idea. They're looking for 50,000 ADA or $50,000, excuse me, and this is all they have. So this has to be a little bit. You know, this needs some work. Like I wouldn't vote on this the way it is. What's this money being used for? You can't just say you want $50,000 and just the only thing you're doing is linking to another proposal saying I'm going to work with this group. So look, I like this idea. I really think absolutely that we need help in getting developers and getting onboarding into this community. There's so many things in this community, and we do need a roadmap to do it. But this proposal, I don't know if they just stopped working on it or what, but you know, you're going to have to tell us what you're going to use the money for. We're not just going to throw $50,000 at you. So although I really like the idea, this proposal needs a bit of help. Okay, so let us go on to the next proposal. The next proposal here, let me open this up here. Okay, so this proposal, Nodeless command line interface. So first of all, I want to tell you, I kind of know the people of 5 binaries. I've interacted with them a little back and forth. They're a dev group. They're really good. They know what they're doing. They've been in the community since the beginning. I really like these guys. If we look at their website here, what they provide is, let me show you, is an API endpoints, right, for the Cardano blockchain. So in other words, if you want to, let's say you want information on the blocks, right? You can use their APIs, right, to get information on the block. So it's just an API backend to get information on the Cardano blockchain. So and I've used this before. This is a great product. I know there's already a backend for Cardano, a GraphQL backend that you can kind of get into on your own. But it involves a little bit more. They got to set up the whole back end. I'm not going to say it's a pain, but it takes some time. Just doesn't set up by itself. So if you want a way to build your app and you just need some APIs to plug into that are going to give you information for the Cardano blockchain, this is a great place to go. So, but let's talk about the proposal here a little bit. What they want to do essentially, let's read the problem statement. You need to run a full Cardano node to interact with the blockchain information using command line interface. That's the problem. We'd like to build a lightweight command line interface on top of Black Forest API as a service, saving developers time and resources. So essentially what they want to do is they want to build a command line interface that gives you basically the same information that's coming from their API except in a command line form. Now, when I first looked at this, I was like, yeah, but you know what? If you're a developer on Cardano, you probably already are used to working with the command line. But then I thought, you know what they're doing here that's really important is that if you want to use it, okay, so let's go back. If you want to use the command line with Cardano, you have to be running a Cardano node to use it. What they're doing here is they're providing this without you having to set up a node or anything to work with the Cardano blockchain. So I think this is a really good idea. And again, I know these guys have seen their work. They've helped me, someone associated with them or who's friends with them really helped me with my pool when I was trying to move to a hardware wallet. So I know these guys know what they're doing. But even if I didn't know what they were doing or know them, just by their experience, by their website, everything they've got going on here. The biggest thing I ask for is proof. Just show me that you are what you are. And obviously they're developers, and they do a real good job of explaining that and showing that. I really like this project. I think this will help developers. If there's a developer that wants to start building on Cardano, he has some ideas and he doesn't want to go through the hassle of pulling a full node down. They just want to start building something. This is great. This is great for them to use this as a tool. They're asking for 14,000 ADA, which is completely reasonable. And I've said this before. It's amazing. The people that know what they're doing, that ask for money, always ask for reasonable amounts. People that have no idea what they're doing and they're just going for, I don't want to say cash grab. I think a lot of these people have good ideas, but they just don't really have a developer or know what they're doing. They always ask for an outrageous amount of money. $14,000 is very fair, and they explain here 120 engineering hours to complete. They explain company rate, so they explain what they're using the money for. So I would vote for this for sure. I think this is a great project. 5 binaries of the group that does this. Okay, let's move on to the last project of the day here, and this will give you an example of what I mean about people asking for money that really don't know what they're doing. Okay, so this next project here, and I'm sure you can see here on the screen, $400,000. We'll get to that in a second. So there's a YouTuber called Crypto Over Coffee who I really like, and he does this 404 something not found or moron. He doesn't call people morons. It's essentially a 404 is when a website's not working, you get a 404 error. So his little piece there is about things that just don't work right. So I'm going to do something similar. One of the projects I pick out every day to talk about is going to be something that shouldn't be here, or is just an idea, or is just a little outrageous in one way or the other, because there's tons of them on here and they're really clogging up the system. And some of these are good ideas. In fact, I think this is a good idea. So let's read through this. Plutus certification program. Companies looking for developers to help. This is the problem. Companies looking for developers to help with building smart contracts won't know if the developer knows what they're doing. So in other words, how do you, if you want to build something and you want to bring a developer on to help you, how do you know that they know what they're doing, right? Solution: create a certification program around the smart contract Plutus system. This is a great idea. Certification program that really is a good idea. There probably should be some kind of certification program. On a side note, Plutus Pioneers are going on right now. They're being taught by Cardano, and even they're getting certified. So at the end of that class, you have to, I believe, make a smart contract in order to get your certification, which will also be on the blockchain. But this is a good idea, right? A certification program, because after this first Plutus Pioneer program, people are going to be teaching people this. There's probably going to be an Udemy course, but how do you know they really know what they're talking about? So I really like this idea. But let's look at something that's wrong with this here, right? Oh yeah, here's another thing. I've been a developer for 25 years. Okay, you've been a developer for 25 years. Show me something, right? I mean, a GitHub, a project that you've completed, something that's running now, something you've done, anything to show that you actually are a developer. But obviously this person probably just wrote this the first day they were able to write, write projects here, to give projects to the Catalyst program here. I don't know what I'm saying sometimes. It's amazing that I can complete a full sentence at certain times during the day. Anyway, so look, first you got to show us you're a developer. Second of all, you got to show us what you're going to use the money for. And third of all, you want $400,000. I mean, this is nuts. $400,000 to create a certification program. I mean, what are you thinking? People are just going to, I mean, I don't know what you're thinking, but you're obviously not going to get $400,000. So yeah, so this is a little nuts. So this is the project I'm highlighting today that just, I don't know, really shouldn't be here. So, and you know that the funny part is you can, well, let me show you this real quick. Do I have some time? Not much. Where is that? I don't know if I can go back here. You have, essentially, you have the ability, and if I can find one real quick, I'll show you, to withdraw projects, right? So there's projects in here. I can't see one right now, but there's projects that have been withdrawn. So come on, withdraw your project if you decide you're not going to do anything. You're kind of clogging it up with, when there's a lot of other projects to look at, and you're making extra work for community advisors who have to review all these projects. Okay, so those are my 3 projects for today. Let's move on to community chatter. So today, actually, what I want to do is I want to show, let me get to it real quick. If you're looking to be a community advisor, and we always need community advisors. There is a great, and I just want to show this here, a great website, or not a website, a video that you can look at that will help you do that. So let me pull this up really quick here, so I can show this off real quick. Okay. Okay, so this is the, I'm not going to play the whole thing. I'm just going to show you real quick.
I am going to introduce myself really quickly. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Stefan Montalbetti, and
so essentially what this is just a kind of a walkthrough that shows you how to be
periodically
a community advisor. So I'm going to put this link below. If you want to be a community advisor, I suggest you all kind of take a look at it. It's pretty easy to be a community advisor, and you get rewards for it. So you get ADA for it, which is nice. So yeah, so that's my community chatter for today. All right, so big ending as usual. It's not really a big ending. It's usually just me saying goodbye. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to keep these more regular. I know they've been real spotty at best lately. But I was sick for a while with a disease we don't talk about, and I was on vacation. So I'm going to try to do these on a more regular basis. Until then, have a great day. Bye-bye.